Honestly, at this point, I'm starting to wonder if these people are actual psychopaths. So, somebody shared something from a podcast that they watched the other day with some world leading alcohol expert. The person sharing the video was a client of mine who's not drank now for multiple years, but he likes to keep informed and he's interested in nutrition and fitness. So he watches this podcast and the person says that alcohol is more dangerous than ecstasy or MDMA. Now, honestly, I think in this day and age, people already know this. We know that alcohol causes 7 different types of cancer. We know it causes dozens of diseases. We know that it kills millions of people every single year. We know that it can shorten decades off your life expectancy because people that drink die a lot younger due to violence, car accidents, and so on. And we also know that if alcohol was found today, it would immediately be illegal to consume, illegal to produce. These people who are building alcohol brands and promoting alcohol would be outcast from society. We'd bucket them in the same place as a freaking drug cartel. So when I heard that alcohol is more dangerous than ecstasy, I already knew that. But then came the next part. And you might have already guessed what they're going to say. But then he explained that later on in the podcast, this expert was then talking about rational use of this substance. Rational, hey? Rational. So before we unpack this, remember this. There's nothing rational about poisoning yourself. There's nothing rational about shortening your life expectancy. And there's nothing rational about consuming a liquid that when it comes into contact with the different areas of your body increases the cancer risk. Rational and alcohol are not two words that go together. So why would some expert who knows the dangers, who knows the damage, who knows that it's more dangerous than ecstasy, say rational use is okay? Well, we're going to unpack this because it all boils down to incentives. And I'm going to show you something here that is not just related to stopping drinking. This is just going to be a way for you to look at the world differently, where when somebody is giving you information, you need to go back and ask yourself, what is the incentive for me to believe this stuff? And it does help because then you're really able to start separating signal from noise when it comes to all sorts of things. The news, podcasts, even me. I'll even tell you my incentive in a minute. I'm going to be fully transparent because I have an incentive for you to stop drinking. So this expert, and it's not just this person. I'm not singling like this individual out. This is across the board. There are thousands of experts, doctors, medical people, whoever that say the same thing. Just cut down. Just drink less. Recommend a daily allowance. The government say this. It's all a load of crap. But why do they do it? So let's imagine for 1 second that this so-called expert works in academia and their life goal is to be a professor. So there's a pretty clear path for them to follow, and all they need to do is continue doing their research, continue doing their bits and pieces, and not upset anybody. So if some expert goes and researches alcohol and finds, okay, well, damn, this stuff sucks, but then all their colleagues drink, the person who's mentoring them drinks, all the people in the university, the staff, they drink. And then you got this person who knows the truth, but they want to advance their career. Well, they're sat on a podcast saying, it's really bad, so don't drink too much. It's like they want to tell you the truth, but then that's maybe going to impact their career. So that could be one explanation. I'm not saying it is. But again, we could maybe just draw a parallel with governments. They do the same thing. There's something that's come out recently. I've not looked at it yet, but there's some new guidelines, and it's the same thing. They don't want to upset everybody because they're going to lose votes. So the incentive for me to get you to believe something might not have your best interest at heart, but I might not want to upset you because I want something from you. So we've just got to really, before we listen to anybody talk about alcohol, is just ask ourselves, what's the incentive? Why do they want me to believe a certain thing? Or is this message even directed at me? Is there something else working in the background? And that can just really help you just see through the nonsense. Rational alcohol use. And the other problem as well, by the way, is when it comes to incentives is we don't know somebody's value system. Maybe for them, they value ambition and success higher than they value honesty and integrity. We don't know their value system. And you got to be careful because let's just do a quick thought experiment now. Let's go back to their original message. That alcohol is worse than ecstasy. So what happens if I'm watching this and I've got an ecstasy problem? Am I going to watch this and think, oh, well, if he's saying that alcohol use is okay, and I take ecstasy or other drug that's not as bad, like damaging toxicology, whatever, does that mean that that is also okay? Haha, justification. I can continue doing what I'm doing. See, the advice is terrible. It's terrible advice. There are people out there that drink alcohol and it doesn't do any damage. But guess what? There's also people that do that with cocaine. with heroin. I've told this story before, but when I was in my drinking days, I went back to the wrong house one night in a little bit of an after party. The guy smoked heroin in front of me. Don't get me wrong, I never went back there. I actually was a little bit scared. I was thinking, damn, I'm in the underworld now, like this isn't good. But he smoked this gear and he told me, it's just a Friday night thing, and maybe it was. But imagine that the podcaster said the same thing with heroin. They're saying, alcohol is more dangerous than heroin. It's not, but it's close. But anyway, but then they said, and guys, Friday night, as long as it's 1 or 2 pipes or whatever they do, I don't even know, one or two things, it's all right. Dude, imagine the comment section. This person is a psychopath. They're a sociopath. But when it's alcohol, everybody lets it slide because nobody wants to face the truth. Listen, you've got to be so careful because somebody can come on there onto a podcast, make a piece of content, they appear, vulnerable, like they're an expert, that they've got a good story, and then they tell you to drink. You got to have your wits about you. It is nonsense. There's no benefit to consuming poison at all. None. And you will continue to receive these messages over the next 10, 20, 30 years whilst you don't drink. You're going to get bombarded with them all the time. And you can never forget the truth that there's no benefit to consuming alcohol. There's no rational usage of this carcinogen. And you need to hold on to that belief forever. You can never let it go because the moment you let it go, guess what? Somebody is waiting with open arms to give you an alternative worldview, and they don't care if you drink or not. I care. So I told you that I would tell you my incentive. Why do I want you to believe that not drinking is good, that alcohol is bad, and there's no safe amount of alcohol to consume? Because I've got an incentive as well. Mine's a little bit purer, but I want you to stop drinking, I want you to change your life, and I want you to be an example. I want you to set an example to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones, to your children. I want you to show them how good life is without drinking, and then maybe you tell people that you watched this channel and it helped you. That's it. I also have a business. I have a coaching program. I use a system to help people stop drinking. And whilst I give most of it away for free on YouTube, there'll be a percentage of people that hire me. But the only way people find out about me is if I genuinely help them with this YouTube content and then they share it with a friend. So I also have an incentive. I'm not trying to say that I'm some pure person that just gives freely. No, I've got some goals. I want people to hear this message and I want it to change the world. And in the process, I want to build a business, I want to have a good life, and I want to serve people. But the whole point of this video is from now on, whenever somebody's getting you to try and believe something, just take a step back and ask yourself, what's the incentive? Why do they want me to believe this? Or is the message even directed at me? Maybe this person's message wasn't directed at you. Maybe it was for his colleagues or her colleagues. We don't know the true incentive, but we can guess because the message is a load of crap. Rational usage of alcohol is impossible.